Hi, my name is Yolanda and welcome back to my channel. Karma. Karma is the theme of this episode. We are talking Pam and Tommy. How we got to Pam and Tommy for the second show, I was mad. I was big mad. I watched the first episode. It took me 3 days to watch the first episode of The Gilded Age. Pacing so slow. Conflict, not interesting. New money versus old money. You know what the solution to that problem has always been? New money marries old money. Okay? No surprises. No drama. Pretty clothes. I'm all here for the pretty clothes. Boot. Nothing there. But I was comparing The Gilded Age to one of my favorite period dramas, The Great, when a commercial came on for Pam and Tommy, and it's a celebration. So very happy because sight unseen, I knew I was going to watch this show and I'm going to have a lot to say about it. So stick around for the ride. Please like, comment, subscribe. I live for the engagement. We don't have to agree. We just keep it civil in the comments. That's all that I ask. Okay, so Pam and Tommy. I'm an 80s baby, but I was a teenager in the 90s. Scandal still came to us by tabloid, okay? We had ETV, I think. I need to fact check myself on that. We had Entertainment Tonight, I think. The granddaddy of all the sex tapes. Pam and Tommy. Kim Kardashian read that playbook and made a whole career and empire out of it. But the one that precedes 2007 is 1995, Pam and Tommy. Situationally, 90s, I was an emo. I had a Walkman Depeche Mode on 1,000 all of the time. But I had good friends who were metalheads. Shout out to Helen. I am very well versed and familiar and liked Motley Crue. Now, I have never watched an episode of Baywatch, not a single solitary one, but I did watch the interviews back then. I've always been a fan of Pam Anderson. I have been a fan of Pam Anderson. So we are going to talk about the first few episodes that just dropped of Pam and Tommy. So Pam and Tommy is brought to us by the same people who made I, Tonya. I'm obsessed with that movie. If you want me to talk about that movie, my love of it, recap, roast, countdown, hot takes about that movie, even though it's a few years old, leave an ice skate emoji down in the comments. If I get enough of those, I will talk about I, Tonya, because if you want to know the story of America, I can talk about it all in that universe of I, Tonya. You want to take a snapshot of the world back then, everything that happened between Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan, I can talk about I, Tonya. First episode, drilling and pounding. Opening scene, drilling and pounding. Tommy and Pam are upstairs doing drilling and pounding. Sounds hot. Sounds steamy. All off screen. Amazing. And we are with our main for the entire of the episode. We are following the journey of Rand Gautier. He's there. He's pounding nails into a bed frame. He's building something. It's Seth Rogen with a mullet. He's annoyed by all of the sounds. He goes out because he hurt his hand. And while he's searching for the Bengay, we see the first Easter egg. Religious text. What kind of wingnut is this man? Inquiring minds want to know. I already know. We get told July 1995. Who, what, where, when. We are continuing construction work on what looks like a bedroom. And in walks Bucky with the good hair. Sebastion Stan. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. He was also one of the leads in I, Tonya. Like, give this man his flowers. The acting chops. The makeup. The hair and the makeup. I believed it was Tommy Lee walking into the room with all those tattoos and that thong, the thong. Oh, glorious. He's looking larger than life. He's talking. He's got a black scent. I forgot all of the rock stars that all of a sudden were rappers. Like, that turn happened in the 90s. Okay, Tommy Lee, we see you. I'm annoyed. Just know, all black people, no matter how gracious we are always annoyed with y'all's black scents. We cannot, okay? We have our own language. AAVE, African American Vernacular English. It has rules, okay? Context, time, places. You can't just throw out phrases out there when you don't have any meaning of it. Do y'all like wake up in the morning speaking like all different types of language? I know you don't do that with Italian or Russian. Don't do it with our language, please. Thank you. So Tommy comes in, larger than life, and says, can you move this monstrosity of a bed 10 feet because I want to see the thing? So we got rich asshole, rock star demeanor. Like, right off the bat, we've set up the conflict. Everyday working man versus everyday poor working man versus this rich rock star. Class conflict. Like, I'm here for it. So, the contractor is a black guy. I don't think he's named. I need to go through the casting thing, but listen, time. I don't have any time. So, unnamed black guy who's the contractor, Rand Gauthier, are having this conversation about the cost of things. Conflict is money. Okay, like, it's gonna cost a whole lot of money, and apparently Tommy Lee, being the deadbeat that he is, hasn't paid his bills, okay? Hasn't paid his bills. Old boy is like, I put this job on my credit card with 18% interest. I always wonder, like, when you have these, I'm always tired of these TV shows where people with no money all of a sudden have money, and I realize I'm not particularly religious, but I do find wisdom in neither a borrower or a lender be. I do. Because y'all be criming. Y'all get credit cards, fiscal responsibility, and not buying things that you can't afford. But, you know, we're the ones that are bad with money, okay? So, we are already set up. Next scenes, Seth TV cut off, okay? Like, he's broke as a joke. The cable man giveth and the cable man taketh away. He hasn't paid his bills, and therefore he cannot watch TV. So what does he do? He turns on the porn. Next day, he encounters the whole of the Motley Crew, spelled in the French way, C-R-U-E. I never understood that. He encounters the crew. All of a sudden, not only does he have to move that bed, he has to go and buy a water bed because money is no money is no object to Tommy Lee. He's good for it. You can't call him poor. Next scene in the garage, old boy is like, you know what? Old boy is like, listen, run me my check before I do any more work. And Tommy Lee it's indignant. It's like, is you calling me broke? You telling me I'm poor? You calling me a deadbeat? And old boy should have been like, yes, but did he not? No, he deferred to the talent. And this is what happens. Listen, I worked construction for 6 months. I forgot all about that dark time in my life. Sometimes it'd be like that. It, like, the grandiosity of these men when they aren't talking to the boss. He mans up. He's like talking to this black man. He's like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to say, give me my money. And he rolls on a half-naked Pamela Anderson. Pam, you know, gets all indignant, you know, like those ladies do. And she's like, oh my God, he's a creep. And she goes and tells on him. And so Tommy comes in, and he's the big man, and he's big man. He's like, okay, you know what? Y'all all fired. Now, the black man didn't have nothing to do with any of that nonsense. Didn't want to go out and talk to Tommy. They flipped for it. But they flipped for it. The white dude lost. It was fair, okay? He didn't have to go talk to Tommy. He didn't have to deal with Tommy, but he got fired anyway. Ain't that about a bitch? They have to leave, and then they are commiserating over drinks and food, and old boy is like, I'm gonna sue! And the black man, being the voice of reason. Okay, being the voice of reason is like, it's hard suing people, and it's true. It's true. It is hard to sue people. People are always like, you should sue, and I'm like, lawyers like sure things. It is hard to sue rich people. It is. That's how rich people stay rich, okay? They hire high-powered lawyers, and that's an American story if I've ever heard one. Okay, we are engaged. Then he talks about karma. Back to the religion, right? He's a hobbyist of a theologian. Old boy is a theologian hobbyist, and he's like, listen, what goes around comes around. I'm in the right here. I am aggrieved, and I can follow that. I'm with him, but because Tommy is an asshole. Like, Tommy was an asshole, right? These things, like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, very high-minded, very philosophical. He's like, Tommy's gonna get his because he did a bad thing. So he's watching porn and he forgets his toolbox. Goes back to the mansion. Second inciting incident, okay? Innocent enough. Should be simple enough. Goes in, grabs the toolbox. Tommy Lee is like, comes out in that thong outfit of the episode. The kimono and thong combo. Everything. Like, I'm here for it. So Tommy comes out, shotgun, all tatted up as per usual. Ye old smoky-eyed for the rock star, wearing the outfit of the episode. You point a shotgun at me like that and won't let me walk off property with my toolbox. You better kill me, okay? And that's not me being big and bad, okay? I know I'm probably gonna die in some nonsense where someone... You better pull that trigger. You better... You're gonna do that double action? You better take me out. You better take me out because... I will... Listen. I served. I know what it's like to be at the wrong end of... Oh, no. Okay, listen. Old boy pees his pants. We get it. I get it. I might, in that situation, I might pee and I might leave a load, but I'm going to whoop some ass if I miss myself. I am going to whoop that ass, rockstar or no, money or no. Just know that is my disposition. I be fighting, okay? That's the way I be. But old boy gets back in the van and he has peed his pants, and we flash back, brilliant writing, to trauma from his past. A scene not set up that is where you don't say much, but you're saying the whole universe. So childhood trauma, parents are divorced, dad doesn't want to pay any attention to him, has to take custody of him for the night, has other plans with some ladies, sticks old boy in a room in front of the TV with some potato chips and some soda and says, you can't leave this room. Old boy, of course, leaves the room because he has to use the bathroom, runs into scantily clad women, his dad doing some nonsense, and gets yelled at and ends up messing himself. Trauma. We're supposed to align with this boy at this time. I don't have any feelings, so I'm not catching them. Okay, listen, I don't have any feeling for this man. I do not. You can't build sympathy off of trauma. We've all been traumatized. What we do to heal is not commit crime. I'm just saying. It's not an excuse. It is not an excuse. How we handle that trauma. Traumatized people do traumatize other people, but listen, we learn, okay? We grow. We don't go out on crime sprees. So then he declares enough is enough. Okay, that little mess in his pants, enough is enough. He's been beaten down, humiliated this whole time. He declares that karma isn't really a thing. He says, I am karma and I'm a bitch. He's got that second part right. And this is how we are birthed with Operation Karma. I need to do the research. Because I don't remember this. But I want to know if there was actually a notebook with Operation Karma on it. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Because, women have gotten a bad rap for a millennium. But, what I'm learning after, watching all of this true crime that I watch, I'll have no fury like a mediocre white man scorned, okay? Again, the math is not mathing right. Tell me this man couldn't afford to buy glue 5 minutes into this narrative, and now he's out there spending money, buying tape, buying supplies, doing the stalky thing, painting that van. That costs money. Where did all of that money come from? It went on the Discover card at 18% interest. Listen, Operation Karma, he gives the details. He's out shopping for all of the stuff, the shag rug. I remember that. I remember the shag rug as part of how he got on the property. Rand. But the black dude, he's like, I'm not going to jail. That is a crime. Listen. Yeah, I ain't going to jail either. Don't tell me about your plot. Well, actually, tell me because I'm nosy. But no. I'm not going to jail. Not going to jail. Compensatory versus compensatory. How old boy comes to the epiphany, I'm not doing any crime with this white dude because he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he literally looks it up in the dictionary. He's like, I was right. It is compensatory. I ain't doing this stuff. He's like, I'm out. Cool. So, he really did go over the fence. He commits the crime, all of that stuff. And he's like, I've gotten my vengeance. Tommy wakes up the next morning. And of course, oblivious, doesn't even know he's been robbed. But can we talk about that green stripe thong though? So old boy's up in the mountains and he cracks that safe. Jackpot! There is jewelry in there. There's money in there. There's all the guns in there. And dum, 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 there is a tape. Let's say I was out there crying. The first thing I'm not going to do is, roll around to the liquor store. Why do people do that? He buys the booze. He gets high. He's going to the pawn shops, getting rid of the guns. Dummy. In 1995, even in the old days, they had surveillance cameras. They're going to trace all that shit back to you. Come on now. Anyway, but he goes and pawns all that stuff. And then he's like, oh, what's here? And he goes and meets up with his old friend from his days doing porn. Surprise, surprise. As I said before, a lot happens in quick little scenes. We get weird racially. That VCR metaphor. They start watching the tape. And then that is the end of that episode. Hopefully you enjoyed my rundown of what happened, the recap. Not much to roast here, except for, the bad fashion of the 90s. The bad fashion of the 90s. Old boy was dressed like it was still 1988. But, as I said, I'll give it to that. I get that some of it looks like the 80s because, I guess this is my hot take, that men learn how to dress. They buy their first pair of whatever at 18, 19 years old, and that is the fashion sense that they carry for the rest of their lives. That man is still wearing acid wash jeans to this day, I guarantee you. Episode 2 will be coming shortly. Episode 3 will come on the heels of that, and then episode 4 when it airs. Please comment, subscribe. I live for the engagement. Now that, and just like that is done, I'm enjoying the show. This is the slow episode. Of the 3 episodes, this was the slow episode. So, if you want to go on this journey with me, Pam, and Tommy, stay tuned, come back, comment, subscribe, and until next time, bye.